Sooner Nation, welcome back to the Sooner Surge. And here we go again. Another one signed, sealed, and delivered. This time it's wide receiver KJ Daniels, 5'9", 150, and he's a burner. He can run. He's fast. And kind of as that wide receiver room with Emmett Jones. And this is actually Emmett Jones. This was his first commit when he got to Oklahoma, was KJ Daniels out of Louisiana. So, Jackson, tell us a little bit about KJ Daniels at wide receiver.
Yeah, as you said, he's a burner. I heard some common player comparisons to Marquise Brown. Now, I know that's truly going to make Oklahoma fans like, whoa, okay, he's that fast. He is. He runs a 10.94 100-meter dash in high school at 5'9". So, obviously, he doesn't have the longest legs in the whole entire world. So, obviously, guys, he can move. He's fast. And to me, whenever I watch this film, I don't think he should be rated as a 3-star prospect. I think he has 4-star written all over him. He plays in Franklinton, Louisiana at Franklinton High School. I'm not sure how big of a school that is. So it's kind of interesting to see the kind of competition he plays against in the state of Louisiana. Obviously, he never got the offer from LSU, I don't believe. LSU was supposedly his dream school. And, he got the Oklahoma offer and he made Oklahoma home. And as you said, this is an Emmett Jones specialty. He gets an offer a few months later. He's committed to Oklahoma. And there's nothing that Emmett Jones can't do. And this just has truly speed written all over him.
Well, and what it really does to the wide receiver room is Emmett Jones has went out, and Emmett Jones has gotten guys that are smaller but can fly, guys like Carry-On, who's 6'6", others that are 6'2", 6'4". You got 5'9", you got 5'11". So what he's doing is getting a complete wide receiver room where you got outside guys, you got slot guys, and he's kind of building that wide receiver room that way. And I love what he's done this year on the recruiting trail. This is his first full season as a wide receiver coach as far as recruiting. So what you're seeing in this class is what he can do, and it's elite. Emmett Jones is an elite recruiter. We knew that coming in to Oklahoma. But what we saw last year is Emmett Jones is an elite developer of talent. And the wide receivers last year, if you want to look at a position group that was probably the most improved last year, it would probably be wide receivers. I mean, whether you be blocking, catching, route running, all of it. And I believe KJ Daniels is a really good route runner. And I also think he's going to be a really good blocker. You see guys, sometimes you think smaller guys, they're not going to be blockers. Look at Oklahoma. Drake Stoops, really good blocker. Really good blocker. And you got to be able to block if you're going to play in this offense. So I look for him to have a good career at Oklahoma.
Yeah, and Oklahoma next year in the wide receiver room, they're going to have the speed of KJ Daniels, Deion Burks, Zion Raggins, Brennan Thompson, and Gavin Freeman. I mean, that has speed written all over it in a wide receiver room. You talk about if you were to put those 5 guys out on the field together, run a 5-out set, there probably isn't 5 defensive backs in the country, I would say, that are fast enough to compete with all those dudes. I mean, there's an argument from what we've seen as Oklahoma fans that Brendan Thompson is the fastest player in the whole entire country. I mean, I think that truly that wide receiver room's like that. And, as you said, the way Emmett Jones has developed and recruited the wide receiver room, right? He took 2 slot guys like Zion Raggins and KJ Daniels, and then you have as outside guys with Kearney and Carry-On. So, I mean, it's been truly developed very, very well by Emmett Jones and KJ Daniels. I think Seth Luttrell and Jackson Arnold are going to have some fun with him.
Yeah, and you mentioned those speedsters you mentioned there with Brennan Thompson, Freeman, Zion Raggins. Who else I miss? KJ Deion Burks. Hey, pick 4 of those guys, put them on the OU track team and run the relay. Not many teams are going to beat them. Okay, that's some speed right there. And what you're going to see in the SEC, you need some speed like that. Okay, you got to have people that can stretch the field. KJ Daniels is that guy. He's a guy that can stretch the field for you. He's a guy you can throw a short pass to, and he may take it 80. that his yak, if you go look at his high school tape, yak, yards after catch, very good. So I think he's got a lot of also intangibles that are going to be really good for Oklahoma in the wide receiver room. And, super excited to see him in the Crimson and Cream, Jackson. And we'll see this year maybe. The wide receiver room is so deep that a lot of these incoming freshmen, it's going to be tough to get a whole lot of playing time just because they are so deep, I think.
Yeah, and I think that kind of with Emmett Jones is one thing he probably has said to his signees and or his commits is that, look, you might not have the opportunity to come in and contribute from day one, like just due to the talent and the depth there is. But if you sit behind, get that development from me in years 2 and 3, it truly is going to help you a lot because you're going to know system. You're going to come in, you're going to be ready to play, and you're going to have the chance to be in the NFL after year 1. Because I think, Emmett Jones, we saw obviously the jumps that Nick Anderson and Jaden Gibson both specifically made. We saw the impact that Angelo Anthony was having until he got hurt. So I just think, that it truly is going to help just KJ Daniels being able to sit maybe and not contribute from day one, as I've said, but learn from Emmett Jones and just become so sound in his techniques and be ready whenever his number is called upon to come in and contribute.
Yeah, and one thing you have to have at a college when you go there and you commit there to that university as a wide receiver, obviously you have to have a good wide receiver coach, but you have to have a good quarterback. And look what OU has over the next, 5-6 years with Jackson Arnold, Michael Hawkins, Kevin Sperry. I mean, those guys are all committed. Now we'll see. Yeah, obviously they have to sign first, but Michael Hawkins obviously coming in this year, but Sperry's the next year. So we'll see. But they got quarterbacks, good quarterbacks that are there. So it's a great thing to be a wide receiver at Oklahoma. I mean, you could say that Oklahoma's, produced. If you want to look at wide receiver that make it in the NFL, OU does a pretty good job of putting wide receivers out. So I think this is a great thing. The wide receiver room, the 24K wide receivers that they got this year are going to be outstanding. I think it's a great class, and KJ Daniels is part of that class. And so congratulations, KJ Daniels, on signing with the University of Oklahoma. Another one signed, sealed, and delivered there for Norman on the Palace on the Prairie, and excited to see him in that uniform. And it'll be next year, and I'm excited to watch it, whether it be who knows, maybe special teams, whether it be not playing next year, maybe just developing. I'm excited to see where his career goes. And the first commit for Emmett Jones is now signed. So thanks for subscribing to the Boomer Sooner. Thanks for subscribing to Sooner Surge. Sorry. And until next time, Boomer.
Boomer.